Hey everyone. So Blizzcon is still technically going on right now while recording this, but for the most part, like the announcements and stuff, all happened yesterday, and a lot of the things that we've learned are, already out there now. Today I want to just focus on World of Warcraft because, come on. That's what we were all waiting for, was the WoW announcement. Well, their announcements in general. So let's get into that. So first off, we're getting a new expansion. Yay! Not that we didn't really know, but I think it's a little different than what we thought we were going to get. So the new expansion is World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth, and it's how can I put this? It kind of reminds me of Pandaria because it strongly is red versus blue, Alliance and Horde, head to head. Not to say it's super PvP and, active type, expansion. I mean, definitely PvP is going to get a bit of spotlight, like, as it maybe needs. But we are going to it's going to be a more faction based expansion, kind of like how Mr. Pandaria was. We'll be at all out war with the Horde or the Alliance, whichever faction you are. In my case, got my Alliance shirt on. The cinematic that they showed, which was amazing. I mean, all of them were pretty freaking amazing, but this one was really good. Showing a battle for Lordaeron, which I think they mentioned is something that's actually going to happen in the game. I don't know exactly how they're going to be doing all this. I mean, they've mentioned I was watching I think it was the Codecraft panel. Don't quote me on that. One of the panels I was watching, and they mentioned they're going to be using sharding to be able to do all that, do this. So so I believe they mentioned they're going to be using sharding to be able to do a lot of this stuff because I mean you're going to see Tyrannosaurus go up in flames. Alliance is going to be attacking the Undercity, and if you're level 1 and you're making it undead, all of a sudden going to Undercity would be impractical. But sharding, so for level 1 you'll still see Undercity as it is today. When you hit 110, it will be even more destroyed than it is now. But I guess some of the other things that they mentioned that will be coming. Well, do I want to do this? No. I guess some of the other things they won't be bringing over the legendary system that we have today, so no more random legendaries. I'm kind of sad about that, but I understand other people are happy about it. But Titan Forging will still be a thing, so I am happy about that. The other thing I'm not happy about is buffs. Buffs will be a thing again. You know, Arcane Intellect, Mark of the Wild, can't remember the other one. Those will all be a thing again. As a mage that often forgets to buff people, I'm not exactly happy about this. I was kind of happy when they took that out of the game. It just always seemed unnecessary. But whatever, that's coming back too. So another something else for me to forget to do, like, you know, hitting time warp. As for like halfway through the boss, and all of a sudden they're calling for time warp because I forgot to hit it at the beginning of the fight. But overall, from what we've seen so far, it looks like it's gonna be, you know, a good you know, successor to Legion. What I'm seeing a lot of people complain about is that we thought we were going to go against Old God after Legion, and I remember a different BlizzCon, maybe it was last year, maybe it was the year before. One of them, they mentioned how they were constructing these expansions where they'd have like an expansion where it's just like it kind of sets up the next story for the next expansion, and that's how it kind of feels like. This expansion, you know, we're not you know, going head to head with the Void, but I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the expansion that we kind of put differences aside between the two factions and are going against some old gods. If the last boss, you know, in the expansion isn't, you know, some sort of old god, I would be surprised, but I'm sure it will. They did mention that in the first raid, I think it was the first raid, or maybe it was the second raid, one of the two, we will be going against Queen Azshara. That is something that will happen, which makes me think more that the old god presence will start, you know, coming throughout the expansion. You know, at first, no, we're going to be going after each other, but by the end, we'll be getting ready to go after old gods and whatever the next expansion after this one will be. But we can worry about that in a year or two. Some of the other things in World of Warcraft that they're going to be making changes. Some of these will actually happen before the expansion, like in 7.3.5. What are they called? What do they call them? We call them sub races, but they are alliance races or something like that. Race alliances or something like that. Basically, what is it? Nightborn, Dark Iron Dwarves, what is it? Nightfallen. Can't remember what the other race is gonna be part of this. Will be part of the game, something that you can unlock. Though they're not necessarily like hero classes, but they kind of take a little bit from that because these races will start at level 20 instead of level 1, so you get a bit of a boost there. And also these characters, if you level them from 20 to max level, get a bit of a cosmetic armor set that you can use on them. Just kind of give an incentive not to necessarily race change when they come out, or to use a boost on them, but you'll have to actually unlock them. So someone getting the games, you know, from scratch isn't necessarily going to be able to play as these races. You have to do a quest line that brings that race into your faction. So it's kind of interesting way to do it. And like I said, they'll start level 20 and you can level them up. And on that note of leveling, they did mention that they are going to be bringing I can't remember what it's called, scaling to older content. So it won't necessarily work exactly how it does right now in in the Broken Isles, where it's like, you know, 100 to 110, things kind of keep scaling up from there. But what they're going to do is sort of cap it at their at the expansion. So you know, vanilla slash content, well, we'll just call it vanilla content. That will be, you know, 1 to 60. And then from there, when you go to the next expansion, which normally would be Burning Crusade, they're actually going to make some of those range a little bit higher. So normally your progression would be, you know, you do all the vanilla stuff, and then you go through the Dark Portal and do Burning Crusade, and then you do, you know, Lich King. But what they're going to do actually is cap Burning Crusade and Wrath at 60 to 80. So if you want to change things up when maybe you're leveling your, you know, 8th character or whatever, and it's like, you know what, I don't feel like doing Burning Crusade, maybe I want to do Wrath first, then Burning Crusade. You can do that. You can actually, since those expansions will be 60 to 80, you can do Wrath first, and then go over to Burning Crusade. And then when you're done with those, Kata and Pandaria will be, what is it? Be 80 to, actually I think, yeah, Kata and Pandaria will be 80 to 90. There we go. Yeah. Well, as of right now, that's how they're playing it. So then you can kind of choose which 2 expansions you want to do in which order. You know. So, you know, then still gonna have to do, I guess you'll still have to do Draenor and then Legion, but they're giving you choices, you know, when you hit those max levels, to kind of go, you know what, maybe I want to do this or that, or I want to do a zone here and then maybe go do a zone over here, whatever you want, you know, within those caps. And you know, they're capping because you know, it makes sense to be, you know, 110 and go back to, you know, Goldshire, and like the wolves are still a challenge to you. It wouldn't make sense. So that is something that will happen, you know, will be coming. Once again, they said somewhere in a patch down the line, most likely 735. They mentioned 735, so that's what I'm going to say. If that doesn't happen, it's not my fault. I don't work there. And once again, on the note of vanilla, I guess somewhere far down the line, they really didn't say much about other than there will be classic World of Warcraft server from Blizzard themselves. So really, there's not a whole lot on that other than, yeah, they're working on it. Which to me, it was sort of like, I don't really care. I guess I'm sure I'll make a character on there and, you know, try it out whenever it comes out, but it's not something I'm looking forward to, you know. It's the thing. It will be out when it's out. So yeah, those are really the kind of big announcements that we got from BlizzCon as far as World of Warcraft is concerned. So yeah, let me know what announcement or thing you heard from one of the panels or something that you're looking forward to in the comments below, and until next time, bye.